Vowel teams are tricky business, and they can be overwhelming for struggling readers. In today's episode, we're going to dig into what they are and my tips for teaching them. Stay tuned. What's kicking, educational rock stars? Welcome back to another episode of Teaching Made Easy. I'm the Center Fairy, your ultimate source into the wonderful world of simple classroom systems that actually work so that you can finally get back to what you love, teaching. If this is your first time joining me here on the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button and click that bell so that you get notified when I go live or upload a new video here on the channel. What are vowel teams? Well, vowel teams are two or more letters that when used together in a word produce a single vowel sound. For example, when the letters A and I are used together in a word, they make one sound, the long A sound. Vowel teams are a type of syllable that we teach when teaching phonics and reading strategies. One thing that confused me in the beginning was the difference between a vowel team and a diphthong. I always thought that vowel teams were just like the letter combinations like AI, OA, AY, EE, and those vowels that make the long vowel sound. But vowel teams can include other vowel combinations like OU, OO, AU, OI, and more. This is because there are actually two types of vowel teams, vowel digraphs and vowel diphthongs. So how do you keep them straight? When teaching syllables, I've seen the vowel teams and diphthongs listed under one syllable type, just as vowel teams. I've also seen them listed as different syllable types. So the short answer is a diphthong is a type of vowel team. To decide if a vowel team is a diphthong or a digraph, we can give it a simple mouth test. Diphthongs are letter combinations that seem to make one sound, often not sounding like either letter in the combination, but your mouth will actually move when you make the sound. For example, notice when you say the word howl. The OW in the word is the vowel diphthong because when you say it, you can notice how your mouth moves and you're actually saying two separate sounds. Ow. Now, vowel digraphs are what you and I have always just referred to as vowel teams. These long vowel teams are letter combinations that make one long vowel sound, such as AI, AY, EE, IGH, OE, OW. You could also include UE and EW in this list because there are instances where they make the long U sound instead of the common OO sound. Don't feel bad if you've been using these terms incorrectly in the past. Trust me, I've been there. I always thought diphthongs were just a vowel team letter combination that didn't make the long vowel sound, but it's actually a little bit more detailed than that. Now, for the purpose of this episode, I'm going to focus on tips for teaching the vowel digraphs, the long sounds made by two or more letters coming together to make one sound. In my more than 20 years of teaching, I've learned that when teaching phonics, it's best to start with the sound, not the letters or symbols. This means that you will start by having your students do simple auditory activities so that they hear the sounds and identify them. I like to ask my students to listen to a list of words and tell me what sounds they all have in common. This is done orally, so remember, they haven't seen any letters or words yet. Once they have connected the words and the sounds orally, I can move on to the grapheme that make up the sound. You can use some of the pieces from our long vowel sound centers found in our year-long Math and Literacy Center bundles to show pictures that have the same long vowel sound created by the vowel team. Then you can show them the letters that make up that sound. Now, we don't want to jump into reading words with the vowel team just yet. We want them to hear it a bit more and work with the sounds in the word. We want them mapping the sounds that they hear. First, I might use a word in a sentence so that they can connect the sound we are working on with a word and the meaning. Then we'll segment the sounds that we hear in that word. I like to use my arm, counters that students slide, or anything that's going to help them be able to tell me the number of sounds that they hear in a word. Next, we will draw our sound boxes for each sound we hear. We will again sound out the word that we're working on and write a letter in each box that we know represents that sound. I will remind them that we have learned that sneaky or silent E can make a vowel sound say its name. But there's another way to make the long vowel sound that we hear in our word. At this point, I will point out our vowel team that is making the sound in the word we're studying. Then we will complete the rest of the words that I've chosen for practice and round out the lesson asking them to tell me once again what vowel team is making the long vowel sound in our words. Some vowel teams have rules that help when our students are trying to spell words. Vowel teams like AI are only found at the beginning and middle of words. Vowel teams like AY are used at the end of words. The same rules can be applied to OA and OW, but EE and EA can be used in all three positions. These are some very simple rules, but they can help your students when trying to decide what letters make the sounds that they're hearing in spelling and writing. When you introduce vowel teams to your students is going to vary from classroom to classroom. Really, it may vary from student to student, but in general, my first graders started working on vowel teams in the spring, and my second graders would review them in the fall. I taught vowel teams in kindergarten, but we focused more on the sounds more than the grapheme. However, if your kinders are ready, I say go for it. The more exposure, the better. Now, if you need resources to help with your students practicing their phonics skills, including vowel teams, check out our Phonics Made Easy printables, which are available in our shop. We also have our Phonics Intervention Pack that is specifically designed for students who are learning English as a second language, complete with real images and no clip art so that your students can make those real world connections to the language that they're learning. You can check them out in our shop by clicking the link in the description. Now, if you're looking for more tips, strategies, and simple systems to take back into your classroom to make your teacher life easier, check out the videos on your screen. Thanks for watching and keep being an educational rock star.